to go ahead and start recording this because this is the very first Crypto Super Saturday call that we went ahead and did. And the reason that we went ahead and did it was simply because I know that many of you just got started within the space, especially within crypto, and so many things might be looking confusing and everything. And we already know, the crypto market's going up. A lot of pairs are going up right now, and a lot of you might be a little bit confused, on maybe where to start. And some of you as well, you're a couple years in as well, and you just kind of need that next breakthrough within your career path. So we went ahead and did is we brought forward not one, not two, but four people that are experienced within the markets to go ahead and walk you down from A all the way to Z. So taking you from point A to point B within your career, so whether you're a beginner, just got started a couple months ago, a couple weeks ago, which actually go ahead and drop within the chat how long you've been doing this, how long you've been in the markets now. That way we can kind of see a little bit of a glimpse of, where everybody's pretty much at. But regardless, if you've been doing this for, I see somebody that's just been in it for 3 years, some 7 months, 1 year, 7 months, regardless of how long or how short of a time you've been in, today is the call that you all want to go ahead and listen to. So, guys, go ahead and type a two within the chat. That way, I know that each and every single one of you have a notebook out, ready to go ahead and take notes and ready to go ahead and apply what you're going to go ahead and learn. Awesome. Awesome. Amazing to see everybody that's studious. But cool. So what I'm gonna go ahead and do is I'm gonna go ahead and step away from greatness, and the very first person that I want to actually bring upon that's gonna go ahead and start everything off for us is actually somebody that we've been rocking with now for the past couple of years as well. This is somebody that I met back in 2022, I believe, whenever we used to share an office space together, in downtown Dallas. And this is somebody that, since the moment that he came in, it's really just been always how to serve more people, and if you don't know as well, with the Blueprint Conference that we just came out with, this is somebody that as well is working a lot in the back burner, in the back end, putting a lot of that stuff up. And this is somebody that has continually fed his team as well. If you guys didn't know as well, Caesar is one of Fernando's students. This is somebody that's always looking out for other people, is always positioning people in better places. So with that being said, I'm going to go ahead and bring up the man himself, Fernando Moreira. Take it away, bro.
Yo, 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 what's up, guys? Hope everybody's having a blessed Saturday so far. Real quick, drop a one in the chat if you can hear me and see me. I just want to make sure before anything else having issues. Okay, perfect, perfect, perfect. So honestly, guys, I'm grateful to be on this call with the people that we have to be a part of them. I feel like it's a blessing. It's a blessing to be a part of them with the call, right? So just keep this, guys, keep this in mind. The educators that we have coming on, I know what they're going to be talking about. I have an idea, and just make sure that you have a notebook, you're ready, right? I'm personally going to go over the basics. So if you're somebody that has been here less than 3 months, less than 5 months, this is something that you're going to want to focus on. You're going to want to pay attention to, right? So I'm going to go ahead and start sharing my screen. Let me see. Drop a two in the chat if you can see it, right? I do want to apologize first off because I did have issues. I did create a slideshow and it did erase. So I did quickly make one literally as the call was getting started, right? So, number one, if you're new into the space, you're going to want to have a decentralized email, right? The reason for this is you want to make sure that you separate your personal email from your crypto related email. It's just something a little bit more encrypted, right? Something that only the sender and the receiver can see, right? The reason for this is just an extra way to secure your portfolio. At the end of the day, you don't want people to know what you have in your portfolio. So this is just a little step of security that I always recommend everybody that's coming into the space, right? On top of that, something that is optional, and the reason I bring this up is multiple reasons, right? But you can also get a decentralized phone plan, right? The reason I really like to bring this up is two main reasons, right? Number one, security, right? How many of you guys have heard of like SIM swapping, right? This is something that has happened to a lot of people before, and they actually lose their crypto because of this, right? Having a decentralized phone plan is a way where you can have a little bit more security instead of having like T-Mobile, AT&T, where you see a lot of these accounts being hacked or people's information getting leaked, right? So another main reason for this is in crypto. I don't know about you guys, but after I experienced my first bull run, one of the biggest learning points that I had is I wish I would have invested more, right? I wish that I would have had more capital to invest. One of the decentralized phone plans that I personally use now is going to be Helium, right? It's only $20 a month. Very simple to set up. Is as good as these big phone plans, right? So just keep this in mind. If you want to save some money, invest a little bit more in crypto, this is a way that you can go, right? And this is also going to be the website. This is going to be the Proton. Like I said, this is something that is actually free, right? You can pay for extra service like VPN and things like that that are a little bit more advanced. Once you get more deeper into the crypto space, you may want to use a VPN, right? So as of now, Proton, Helium, really, really important things to start off with. If you don't have them, I would suggest you to, consider getting them. Number two, basically decentralized wallet. Why do I want to bring a decentralized wallet is as you guys know, you buy crypto, you come into this space, but you can't leave your money inside of different exchanges, right? I'm gonna talk a little bit more about different exchanges after this, but you have to get a decentralized wallet so you can keep your money safe, right? Understand that there's a lot of exchanges out there that can literally get sued and shit gets shut down, and the money that you have in there, you can potentially lose it, right? You don't want to put yourself in that position where that is possible, right? And so number one, you want to have a decentralized wallet. There's multiple different type of wallets, decentralized wallet. There's more of cold wallet and a hot wallet, right? So what I personally recommend, if you're somebody that wants to buy crypto and hold it long term, you're gonna want to invest in something like Ledger, right? If you do decide to get a Ledger, I highly recommend you to only buy this on ledger.com. Do not buy this on any type of Amazon, Best Buy, eBay. Do not get that. It's not safe, right? I have recently got as well a Tangent wallet, which I have used it for a few months now and I actually really like it. So these are two, if you plan to get a wallet, these are two options that you do have. Um, Understand as well that there's something called a burner wallet, right? These are going to be really, really important once you get a little bit more deeper into the space, right? Basically, what a burner wallet is going to be a wallet where you don't keep your main funds in, but there's going to be where you keep funds specifically for different reasons, right? I don't know if you guys have heard about airdrops, mining, minting, right? These are different things that you can do within the crypto space that can potentially go south, right? You can potentially lose some money. So as well as when you get into meme coins, you also want to make sure you do not have this on your main wallet. This is something that you would be doing on a specific burner wallet where you only put a specific amount of money in there. And then let's say you want to withdraw, you want to take some profits, then you can go ahead and move it into one of your other wallets. It is something really, really important. And what I personally recommend for these type of wallets, you can always use maybe like a Trust wallet. You can also use something like a Phantom wallet. These are really, really good, just depending on what network you're going to be using. Specifically, Phantom wallet is mainly used for Solana. If I'm not mistaken, though, they have added Ethereum and a few others, but it is mainly used for Solana, right? Another part that I really recommend is a secret phrase book, right? What this does is it gives you, and basically it's a book, waterproof, water resistant. And what this book does is it's made for you to write your secret phrase down, right? What is a secret phrase? A secret phrase is 12 or 24 words that you are giving that these actually give you access to your wallet, right? I'm gonna quickly just show you real quick. If you, oh no, I'm not. This is not gonna go well. So, normally they give you 12 to 14 words when you do set up a wallet, and these are really, really important, right? The reason they're important is, if you lose these, you won't have access to your account. You have to understand that. If somebody gets access to these numbers, they can literally wipe every single dollar that you have. Um, Even if you don't have your password, because they have you set up a password. But if they have these secret phrases, understand that you can lose everything. I've heard stories about this happening, and it's really, really important. And this is why I tell everybody, don't take a screenshot, don't save it on your phone, don't do none of that. I want you to physically write it down so that way you have a physical copy, and you can have multiple, right? But stored in different places. Because one of the biggest things that I personally, messed up is coming into this space. I didn't treat it like if it was a lot of money. A lot of you guys are coming in, you're like, oh, I just put 100, I just put 200, but that money can really grow a lot very, very quick. So you want to make sure that you start off safe, right? So when it does potentially grow to the amount of money that you're not even expecting it to, you're already safe, right? And the one that I personally have is actually, I think it's this one right here. I bought it from Amazon. It's like a two-pack. So not only do you have one book, you have two. So that way, if somebody else comes in, you're like, hey, bro, we'll go ahead and give you this book for free. Go ahead and use it, this and that. Really, really important. Something I've done before. And another thing, exchanges, right? For some reason, it deleted this one, but exchanges are really important, right? Because this is actually where you're gonna buy your crypto, right? You can buy your crypto within different wallets, Ledger, Phantom, Trust Wallet. It does give you that feature to buy it. But personally, some of them have like high fees and things like that. I personally recommend buying in an exchange, right? The one I personally use the most is going to be Coinbase, but you are able to use crypto.com. There's one like Kraken. All of these are good exchanges to use. Just like I said, keep in mind that these exchanges can go down at any time. Like I don't know if you guys heard about the whole FTX scandal thing. This was a huge exchange, right? So I really strive people to pay attention and really move your crypto in decentralized wallet. I still know of people that have their money in Coinbase, and it's a decent amount. And this is the reason I really, really I tell people so many times repetitively, like they may get mad at me, but I'm okay with it because I'd rather you be mad at me because you got tired of me hearing it and you took action rather than you not taking action and losing money, right? So make sure you have an exchange, and you have a decentralized wallet where you transfer your money to and you keep it safe. Right. With that being said, one of the last parts I'm really going to go over is the platform, right? Because as you guys know, we have one of the best platforms out there, actually the best platform, right? So one of the things I recommend everybody brand new to do is make sure you watch this course, Stocks and Crypto course. It's literally only 17 videos, roughly about an hour long, 75 minutes. Really important dives deep about the crypto space, different terminology, what you need to know, different type of wallets, right? So this is really, really important if you're somebody that wants to get into the space, has never invested before. This is something really, really important, as well as the go lives, right? The lives. These lives you're able to hop on. And two of the educators that we have gonna come up next are physically on here. They do calls. Let me go ahead and log in real quick. Boom, boom, boom. And it doesn't matter what time of the day you are available. Understand that there's always an educator live, whatever time frame that you're on. So let me see right here. If you've never accessed this before, this is really important that you remember how to get here. I literally showed you from logging in to getting on here. If you see on top, these are the top most viewed educators. But you guys see Monday through Sunday, we have different educators. one thing I tell everybody is I recommend you to watch a few, right? And then switch it up. Figure out which educator matches best with you. Everybody learns different. Everybody teaches different. So you want to be able to switch it up, try different educators, find which one works with you. All of these educators are good. I've been on all of their sessions. Just everybody teaches different. You just have to find the one that works for you and take action. Whatever they tell you to do, whatever they teach you, go ahead and not just listen, not just take notes, but apply it. Apply what they do, learn it to understand it, to then teach again, right? But with that being said, I'm ends my part. I'm gonna bring up the next speaker, right? He's somebody that when I first met him, I was like, bro, this guy is different. This guy is different. He's so disciplined. He's disciplined. He's calling out these plays consistently. He's hitting with the charts. So with that being said, I'm gonna bring up the one, the only, the guy that I do the call with every Thursday. The one, Tony, go ahead and take it away.
What's good, everyone? What's good, everyone? Everyone talk about one touch out for my boy Fernando for that nice little sauce, right? Of course, we have different like segments on this call that all four of us will go over, but I'll definitely make mine short and simple and straight to the point, right? But real quick, who here is less than a year in of Powerhouse? Just real quick, because this entire segment that I have to be tailored towards you guys alone. And you can definitely, of course, take notes of it or take a screenshot of it. Makes it more easier for you guys to, having for yourselves. But I'm going to share my screen and show you guys exactly, basically everything that basically wrote down that you need your first year investing or even, building your portfolio, right? So real quick is number one is how many coins are you going to focus your first year in investing? Because I know there's like a whole bunch of coins that are being called out inside the live sessions, inside the chats, the channels. Which ones are you mainly going to focus on? Because you get to, of course, take advantage of just, having at least like 4 to 5, depending on the capital you guys are working with. You can, of course, do a lot with just those five only, right? Because I don't want you guys to diversify yourselves way too much early on, because that's one of the biggest mistakes that I had my first year, because there was a whole bunch of call outs being called out. Didn't really know much about crypto. I just barely started learning about crypto, right? That's why, of course, you have to be thankful for the education and be able to, take advantage of the accessibility you guys have with these individuals, these two next individuals that are about to be brought up on this call. And also, how much capital do you plan on putting into crypto markets? Would it be just, a lump sum of money, or would it be a recurring buys? I mean, of course, both of them can still work, but when it comes to putting a lump sum of money all at once, then you have to be really, of course, certain on the strategy or like, on the project that you guys are wanting to invest into, whether it's, low risk plays, for example, like the main cap coins. And for let's say you want to put your money into Ethereum, Solana, XRP, these already have been established for years now, right? But it already depends on how much conviction you have with the project that you guys are wanting to participate in, right? And also, the nice thing that everyone go over is like which coins you want to invest into, whether it's the low risk, medium risk, and high risk coins, right? You're still to make money in this current stage of the market, because we're about to wrap up this year up, and I have a very, very good feeling, right? Where we'll definitely of course see a nice additional pop leading up to the new year, right? Because everything's kind of really aligned towards, that first quarter of the year on what happened, 2020. If you guys don't know what I'm talking about, look back at Bitcoin around 2020, around this time, and you can of course see the charts for yourself. But as of now, for when that's here, that's new. You guys actually came to the right timing inside this community, because at this point, like, you guys are seeing crypto popping off one by one, right, in different sectors, in different categories. So the ones that have been, of course, been mentioned inside the chats, if you guys have already missed out on those, then focus on the lagging pairs, right? And of course, how much percentage do you want to diversify into each coin? Let's say you want to focus on putting, having at least like, 30% on certain coin, 20% on a certain coin, and or let's say you want to categorize your portfolio in different categories, whether it's AI projects or let's say just the main cap projects. It really all depends on yourself and which level of risk your guys are willing to take. But as of now, like things are popping off, right? It's already that season where things are starting to ramp up even more than even before, right? So now, like really perfect for guys to really dial down into some of these coins that haven't popped up just yet, right? And next thing is, what is your exit plan? This is by far the most important thing that you need to focus on in your journey on investing, especially this run, because one of the other, of course, things that I messed up was I didn't have exit plan, right? Because your entry should be just as good as your exit, right? I know, of course, a lot of people are telling you guys to buy a certain project at this price. Um, the ones that have already popped, I wouldn't really focus on those as much, right? If you guys are in, shout out to everyone that got in. But if you guys haven't got into those projects or hasn't gone to any of the project that popped off, then make sure you guys have a pretty good, reasonable entry to get into it, right? Because I know it can get a little confusing, or let's say you guys are want to get that sniper entry. When it comes to investing, I know that some guys are some snipers on the charts, but when it comes to investing, kind of change it up a little bit and just focus on the higher time frames, because higher time frames will always win. Those are really, focused on directional bias, right? But of course, you can still get sniper entries, but it really all depends on the certain project you guys are looking at right now, right? Next thing is, what is your emotional status? Whether you are greedy, even right now, like we haven't really fully, seen the entire cycle, the entire psychology cycle of the market just yet, right? But as of now, like you should really, not a financial advisor, but I just know what's coming in the following months. So just focus on the crypto you guys have already and just double down on those, right? Of course, next thing is follow the crypto's social medias, whether they're like the Twitter accounts, X accounts, Telegram, Discord, because when you guys are investing to a certain project, you want to know what kind of updates are they continuously building. For months now, you can definitely look back on their history and seeing what's happened, what have they been achieved, or what they wanting to achieve in the future, right? So that's one like the biggest things that I'm always is going to suggest when you guys are heavily investing into a project, because whether you guys are following like the Binance X accounts, Coinbase, other alerts out there on X, following like the ICP, X accounts, Ethereum's X accounts, Elon Musk, Donald Trump, all these different social medias that are out there that are talking about cryptocurrencies, because there's a lot of big players coming into this space, whether you guys are following like the institutions, actual social media accounts like Grayscale and etc. Right? And which projects has the most attention right now, right? For one that's here that's brand new, or someone that's already been experienced out of the space already, you guys know that the current focus right now is Bitcoin, ETH, Solana, and XRP, and of course meme coins, right? And as far as be able to take advantage on which coins to take part in, focus on the ones that are not being talked about, right? Whether it's like AI coins, right? And then you have other, mid cap coins, low cap coins, and Web3, gaming, depend coins that focus on infrastructure, right? Then those are the ones that haven't really been talked about at all yet. So think about that, right? What has the most attention right now? You can definitely look at the social on the news outlets. They're talking about Bitcoin. They're talking about ETH. They're actually talking a lot more on XRP, right? So keep that in mind. Key factors to look at when it comes to looking at the charts. You have Bitcoin, Ethereum, Total One, and Total Three. Those are the main charts that I personally look at when it comes to leverage ideas and investing ideas, right? I know some guys have been on my sessions quite a bit of times, and I know that the educators on this call are frequently talking about these charts a lot, majority of the time, right? Next thing is what is the media saying about a crypto or for one that hasn't been updated? The news has been, of course, talking about XRP quite a bit, right? But whenever the focus starts shifting, whenever they're telling you guys where to buy it and how to buy it, then all right, cool. Then you should be able to, be able to take partials on those investments. But even right now, we haven't seen that just yet. They're talking about it, but when a news outlet's telling you guys, giving you guys financial advice, then you should be, of course, a little more cautious, right, in your portfolios or any entries you guys have at that moment. And next thing is, uh, do the opposite of Jim Cramer, right? Some of you guys have been, really, of course, looking at Jim Cramer and what he's been saying. And for one that series that's brand new, follow Jim Cramer's X account when he says, something completely different on BTC from that recently just, he recently just, said something on live television about, how Ethereum and Bitcoin are winners to hold it. All right, cool. Now look for some type of like leverage sell ideas if you can, right? So these massive influencers, right, are definitely have a high impact on the market. So just be mindful of what these individuals have to say online towards the masses because everything is tailored towards to hurt the mass majority of the masses. So that's another thing to keep in mind that I didn't write on here. Like I've said before, is focus on cryptos that have already popped and focus on the lagging pairs, whether it's AI, DePIN, Web3, gaming infrastructure, DeFi, lagging layer ones and layer twos. CoinGecko, on the category sections, you can definitely find all the layer ones, all the layer twos, and different categories that you can look at for like AI coins. So definitely take advantage of CoinGecko. There will be a link inside the channel on how to access a CoinGecko and give you guys more details on more about that. So I think that basically it on my part. I think I just went over my mistakes when it comes to my first year, not doing my research, right? Buying whatever was called out, not looking at the charts, right? That was my personal, failures in my first year in crypto. And I was mainly just focused on high risk plays because I know high risk plays means high rewards my first year, right? But once you guys start getting more knowledgeable, right? Then you can, of course, play with some of these, high risk plays, and of course, be able to have that, entry and exit plan, right? Get in and get out. I know some guys have been inside meme coins, and you guys can definitely see that whatever is fast won't last, and makes you guys be able to take profit on these high risk coins. So, and lastly, before I bring up the next speaker, right? Pretty sure the next speaker is getting notified right now, but let me know if he's on the call, Junior. Give me a little text. And last thing, don't get greedy, right? Because I know that when it comes to that euphoria moment, you guys can be looking at your portfolios that you guys are up, right? You have to really acknowledge yourself. All right, cool. If you feel that you are up or you haven't seen that amount of capital, then just take profit. Whether it goes up another 25% or 50% your way, then so be it. Because the main focus is getting out of the market, securing your profits, and having that capital safe, right? And that's basically it on my parts. I'm going to pass over to the next speaker that we have, which is a absolute legend. The one individual, right, has been calling out plays after plays during the market was absolutely boring, educating you guys on these live sessions, keep you guys updated on these plays. And trust me, this guy is absolutely a beast when it comes to investing. I know he's up. He put his entire family on these crypto projects, right? With shout out to everyone that's here that's putting their family on because I know how hard that can be. But this individual definitely take notes on. If you guys haven't taken notes on Fernando or myself, I suggest you guys lock in for the next 20 minutes and take notes on Mike Sotero. So without further ado, I'm going to pass over to my boy, my mentor, Mike Sotero.
All right, he's rejoining, guys. My bad. He's on a cruise right now, because that's what people do whenever XRP is up. He's up because he's on a cruise, and this isn't the first time, nor the second time this year. Yeah, I asked him yesterday. I was like, "Yo, Mike, how many cruises you been on this year?" He's like, "Bro, I'm on my fifth one this year, But I guess that's what happens when you're up on XRP. But Mike, take it away, bro.
Yeah, that's funny, bro. Can you guys hear me? Amazing. Well, excited to be here. Appreciate Anthony for the introduction. Yeah, I went outside and the Wi-Fi cut out. I'm leaving the Bahamas. There's like some cool scenery out there, but if I go out there, it'll get cut off. But obviously, thank you for the invitation. First off, excited to be here. Ripple's at $2, and a lot of people are still sidelined in crypto. And if you're taking notes here today, there's really going to be two types of people on this call. First type, you're in crypto. Throw a one in the chat if you already have an established portfolio. Second type of person is you are looking to get into crypto, right? Throw a two in the chat if that's you, and that's okay. I still think there's great time here. I think there's still a great opportunity in crypto, even at the current prices. Most recently, right, we got really aggressive on Filecoin, and Filecoin's one of those lagging projects, right? From $4 at our entry on Swipecoin to I think 720 right now. A lagging project. You're going to see DeFi lag, you're going to see AI lag, and you're going to see real world assets lag here over the next couple of months. So if you're on this, you shouldn't feel like, oh, wow, I missed out on this. You should be like, wow, this is the greatest time. Because, Nancy does remember this. Mike Navrat remembers this. Junior was probably like in high school still. 2017 run. 2017 run. This energy is very similar, but it's like a matured market. And it's so interesting in a way where I think if you're new and if you're in your 20s or your 30s of your age, you have the opportunity to take some risks here. The same risk that I took in 2021, we're recording this, where I emptied out my bank account, right? Straight up. When I emptied out every dollar into crypto on that pullback, or 2020 in the COVID sell-off. And then 2021, we went bull market again. And I think now this bull market is going to be special. So I want to give you guys a couple of takeaways. I'm on my phone, so I don't have my computer. I have it, but I'm not on the Wi-Fi. But I want to give you a couple of takeaways for the next 60 days or the next 6 weeks before this year ends. So hopefully you're taking notes. Okay. Number one is don't FOMO or chase new coins. In every single bull market, you see new narratives, but most importantly, you see new coins just pop off. Don't buy when it's green, buy when it's red. You're going to probably say, well, Mike, when is it going to be red? I don't know that. Okay. I wish I did. I would short the market and I would take out a loan and short the market. I don't know that, but I do know there will be massive sell offs and corrections in the next 3 to 6 months. Okay, so number one is don't chase. Number two is double down on your budget. Okay, how many of you guys in the chat, real quick, have a budget of what you invest into crypto weekly? How many of you guys have an actual budget? You get paid from your job, a business. If you were disciplined with your budget in the past year and a half, I'm so proud of you. And if you weren't disciplined, it's time to get disciplined. Neri, I see Neri. Shout out to Neri Banks. Always on my Go Live sessions. It's not by accident that her portfolio is doing backflips right now. She shows up. And if you think you're just going to come into this market and just start buying and make a lot of money, you're going to get crushed. So you have to be waiting for the next sell-off, for the next correction. And to be honest with you, we might not get it for a little bit of time. I would not doubt that in December, we have a Santo rally. And if you guys look at the chart of 2020 compared to 2024 now, 4 years ago, November, massive. December, continuation. January, small pull up, and then a big sell off February, March to close Q1. That's kind of what I feel like will take place, but I'm not guessing. I'm taking profits on the way up, and I'm going to buy more on the way down. XRP's at $2. Trust me. I've been talking about XRP for 8 years. since February of 2017 when I first started telling people to buy XRP on March of 2017. Couple cents XRP was. I was broke, so I didn't buy a lot. I bought a couple $100 worth, and I watched that thing go to thousands of dollars in 2017. How much did I make? Nothing, because I didn't sell. The only thing I sold was Litecoin. I bought Litecoin really early on. I think $10, 13 and 18. Sold it at like 38, thinking I'm a genius, thinking I'm the best trader in the world, and it went to like $400. And I took positions at 300. Never sold at 400. And that's the best part about education is you can learn from our mistakes. So one is don't chase. Two, double down on your budget. If you're platinum 600 or gold, right? All the new ranks. But if you're making 600 a month, get to 1,000 a month before the next bear market. If you're at 1,000 a month, get to 2 or 5,000 a month. Junior posted something the other day. I don't know if it was on his close friends or where it was. Don't ask him to get on his close friends because just don't do that. But he posted something and I saw his portfolio, and I'm like, damn. Being extremely young, being extremely focused, where is Junior going to be in the next 10 years? And it got me excited. Junior, I didn't text you about this because that's just kind of strange and kind of weird. But I'm like, man, that's so cool to see. Not even like my student, like my friend, like your friends making money, like real money in this bull market. Like that's a cool thing to see. And you know what's cooler is that if you can do it in one run, you can do it in the next run. And if you're in your 20s, you'll be able to see the market in your 30s and 40s and 50s and 60s. And then you'll be able to teach your kids and grandkids because this is not the last bull market. Does everybody understand that? Throw a 7 in the chat if you understand that. This is not the last bull market. And there will be more bear markets. And it's a game of capital. 2021, my life was, my situation changed because of the work that I was putting in, going chairman, investing money, doing all those things from 2017 to 2020. And if you're on this call, that budget, you have to get that budget higher. So number one, don't chase coins. Number two, double down on your budget. Number three, and this is really speaking into the now, do you have your exit plan? And I'm sure Nancy will speak about this, who I'm going to introduce here in a few minutes, is do you have your exit plan solidified? Well, Mike, Ripple just keeps going up. It's just going to go up forever. No, it's not. If I said, what's your exit plan for Filecoin, and you don't have one, here, borrow mine. Go to Swipecoin and just borrow mine. I think our first exit on that is at $10, I believe. I think it's like 10, 25, and then we have a swing at 20, like 75. So just borrow mine. Use the Swipecoin ones. XLM was a great example. How many of you guys made money on XLM? Let me know in the chat if you made some money on XLM. This is going on the vlog. How many of you guys made money on XLM? Drop a 7 in the chat if you made money on XLM. Okay. XLM, we dropped at 7. No, we dropped at 8 cents. November 7th. It's crazy how I remember this. November 7th, 2022. It hit exit 1. It hit exit 2. It's about to hit exit 3. And you know what's crazy? How many of you guys are holding XRP? Those moved together because the guy that created XLM was a founder of XRP. They work together. If XLM takes the lead, which it has, XLM is up a 700% run. XRP is up like a couple 100%. XRP will now follow XLM. Crazy. That was a Litecoin exchange idea that was active for over 1 year. Does anybody know anybody that has quit crypto? Guys, I'm on a cruise ship. I'm in the middle. I'm with my family. We're on a trip right now. I have dinner here in 5 minutes, so I'm going to jump off and pass it to Nancy in a second. And a guy, I swear on my life, my brother is with me. He's in the room here. A guy comes up to me at the gym 4 hours ago, and he says, "Man, do you know Nano?" I'm like, "Yeah." He's like, "Man, I was at an event that you did in 2018 in Key Biscayne in Miami." His son is next to him. He says, "Bro, I messed up." And he just doesn't say anything else. And I'm like, "Look, man, it's okay. Like, it's all good. Just, hit me up on Instagram. I'll do a phone call with you for free. Just, I'll help you out." And bro, guys, his son is looking like his son doesn't understand. His son is like 6'4", probably plays a sport, but he's young. He doesn't understand. And the dad had like this feeling of like regret. And that's the normal for crypto right now. It's regret. And if you're on this call, I don't want you to feel that way. And that's why you need to stay close to the fire. How many of you guys have gotten your ticket for the Powerhouse convention in January 24th? You got to get there. You got to get there. You got to do whatever it takes to get there. Because you tell God and you tell the world and you tell the universe, hey, you know what? I'm going to be here in January. I'm going to invest into the team. I'm going to invest into the organization by getting a ticket. And then most importantly, how many people are you bringing? Okay. I'm 99% going to be in the building. I'm moving a lot of things. I gotta be in Europe that day, but I'm trying to figure it out so I can make sure I'm there. But here's the point. It doesn't matter if other people are going to be there. You need to be there. People in your team might not be there, but you need to be there. People in your upline might not be there, but you need to be there. I needed the event June 22nd, 2013. I met Alex Morton, I met Bob Proctor, and I met Robert Kiyosaki. In an elevator, I met Robert Kiyosaki. That event is happening in January. The link's in the chat. Get to that event. And I'll leave you with one last thing. Okay, I'll leave you with one last thing. A lot can change. Write this down. Somebody said, I met you in an elevator. That's cool. That's fire. Last thing I'll leave you with. A lot can change in a short amount of time. The overwhelming amount of messages and texts and WhatsApp, and it'll never get old. Hey, I just hit 5 figures. Hey, I just hit 6 figures. I have one of my students just hit $1 million in his account. Results not guaranteed, whatever. And it's like, and Nancy sees it because she's an educator, and Mike Nav sees it as well. It's like, what? I have a guy on my team that'll probably hit 8 on this run. He's super rich. He was super rich before. Now he's about to get a lot richer. He needs to take me to dinner. The point is, a lot can change in a short amount of time for your life. Right now, you might be in debt, right? Anybody in debt? You don't have to put it in the chat, but anybody in debt? I was $7,000 in credit card debt, and people didn't even know in 2016. It's all good. Things change very quick. I remember I was talking to Bob Proctor at a dinner in 2014 with my mentor. I went to this dinner. I wasn't supposed to be there. My mentor took me. His name was Brad. He got me to the dinner, and Bob said at the dinner, he said this on stage too, but he said, go as far as you can see, Mike. And when you get there, you'll see how to go a little bit further. When you go as far as you can see, so maybe all you can see is like 5,000 a month. All you can see is a certain number or a certain life. That's fine. So go as far as you can see. And when you get there, you'll see how to go a little bit further. Put a 5 in the chat if you want to go a little bit further in 2025. I know for a fact 2025 is going to be a prosperous year, but I know for a bigger fact that the next 5 years, the next 5-year window to close out this decade is going to be incredible. In 2001, there was an event that took place to start the decade that changed the world, 9/11. And then America bounced back. Stock market bounced back. Real estate bounced back. We closed the 2010 run with then another crash that started 2010, 2011 really bad. 2020 was a great place. Or 2019, we started this decade with a crash, and the biggest amount of wealth will be created toward the end of this decade. I believe that. And I believe if you're on this call, you can be positioned as well. Okay? Guys, I got to get to dinner. I want to introduce you to somebody that's been teaching now for years, been serving now for years, really runs a lot of the back-end systems for Powerhouse, whether you know it or not. And just like a backbone, right? A person that really cares. And we are in an industry where not a lot of people care. They say they do, but then their actions don't match their words, and that's just not this next individual, this next educator. She teaches on stocks and crypto, and she's just a beast. Like, she understands it. She gets it. She's able to teach in English and Spanish, which I don't even know how, because like some of the words don't even make sense, but she figures it out and she always finds solutions. She's a solution oriented person, which is why she's winning, which is why her fiance is winning, and which is why you have a chance to win in this next run. So I'm going to pass it to the legend, Miss Nancy Aguilera. Over to you.
Let's go. Thanks a bunch, Mikey, Tony, Fernando, and Junior for putting this together. Guys, I hope you're not taking this call lightly. I know it's a lot of information jam-packed into 1 hour, but you asked for this. In one way or another, you asked for your plate to be full. So do not complain when you're receiving a bunch of information. Guys, again, I feel like I stand on the shoulders of giants. Mike has been someone that I've looked up to and learned from over the last few years. So it's really cool. Like he said, one thing that I love that he said that I have had in the back of my mind since I can remember is not just about me making money, but the best feeling in the world is making money with those that you care about. The best, like the text messages that I'm like most grateful to be able to send is texting my dad saying that his portfolio is up, texting in the family chat with my brother-in-law, my sister-in-law, my fiance saying like, yo, this is up, and like doing like long-term planning. What are we going to do after this bull run? What are we going to recycle our profits into in terms of other markets? And it's just, the conversations are different. So if you haven't had those kind of conversations, just trust that you will, as long as you stay in this lane, as long as you don't get distracted by all the other things that can be distracting you. Like, guys, it is holiday season here in the States, right? So we had Thanksgiving the other day, we have Black Friday, we got Cyber Monday, everyone telling you how to waste your money. We're here to make sure that you conserve some of it and continue to scale it. So my job today is really fun. I'm going to show you different ways that you can scale your portfolio and or your account. So do we have anyone here that does both trading and investing? Actually, let's do this. Let's type a 111 if you do trading, type a 222 if you do investing, and type a 333 if you do both. All right, let's go. I love that because it means that we're not leaving money on the table and that we are a jack of multiple trades. And that can be done here. And actually, it's a really cool thing to be able to do because you get to take advantage of different market cycles. Like, here's the thing, guys, is that when it comes to investing, you have to know when you're in your season and what part of the market cycle you're in, because different markets are on different cycles. Sometimes they correlate, sometimes they don't. So you can take advantage of that. Oh, where do I want to start? Okay, let me show you a couple things. I have some things to show you. First and foremost, I'm going to show you how you can scale out of your positions, because Mikey talked about something that's really important, is that he was up a fat bag on some investments and he didn't take profit on them. And like, here's the thing, guys, it's like, we're not here to flex unrealized gains. Unrealized gains are not gains. They're just numbers on a screen. One of the most important things as a trader and investor is closing your positions. A lot of people want to talk about entry strategies. How do I get in? Where do I know where the bottom is? But that actually doesn't pay you. You only get paid once you close. So let's close. I struggle with having a crypto exit plan. Well, I hope to teach you or to show you one that can work for you. So let's go over here, move this thing somewhere. Well, it's not going to bother me. And as long as you guys are ready to receive, I'm ready to share. There's one thing about me is that I don't gatekeep. I'm an open book. And the cool thing about this market, or any market actually, trading and investing has made me a more abundant thinking person, because you making money doesn't take away from me making money. I want that to be super clear. We can all make money. There's whales in this space that are making bread, and their friends are also making bread. So let's think of this group that's on this call as a fractal version of those groups. Okay, so this is on the screen. We have a real quick, we have a chart of Bitcoin. And if you haven't noticed, this is actually before the November 5th rally. I call it the November 5th rally, not that it actually started that day. That's where it just really had gas to the fire. But the bottom, the local bottom of this was actually, August 5th. And the cool thing, guys, if you've been tuning into the sessions or in any type of proximity to me, I feel like I sound like a broken record. Like I am so over my voice because for months, guys, for 8 months, I felt like I was just repeating myself. Crypto's at a discount, crypto's at a discount, crypto está en descuento. I don't know how else to say it, but I was repeating it over and over and over again to anyone that would listen. And guess what? That was when Bitcoin was under 55,000. That one was Bitcoin was at about 50K. And let's not even mention the entire year before that. It's really cool because I've been an educator on the platform for 2 years now. I've been knowing about crypto since 2015, so it's about to be 9 years. And I've been actively involved since 2017. And every single year, I learned something different. Actually, I should say almost every single year, but definitely every single cycle or every single phase of those cycles. I know. But since 2022, I had the privilege of becoming an educator during the boring part of the market cycle. 2022 was this. November 2021 was the all-time high, the previous all-time high, I should say. This is where we saw the ultimate euphoria. This is where people, like everyone and their mamas was talking about crypto and everyone was excited and it almost felt like you could just throw money at anything and it would just go up. It was a really fun times. For those of you that weren't here, you just got to trust me on that. Then after that, it just started to slip. It didn't just slip though, it slipped aggressively. And the thing with that, the issue with that is that most people don't have the stomach to hold or to know what to do when that is slipping. So we'll get into that maybe. But point being is that if you withheld or if you knew what to do during 2022, even if you were just learning, let's say that you weren't even actively participating, maybe you were dollar cost averaging, maybe you weren't, but at least you were learning, then you deserve this bull run. You do. Because like I said, for the 2 years that I've been an educator, this was my first year as an educator, literally right here. And then we just went down and I was just basically teaching what to do during a bear market. 2022 and going into 2023, that was the accumulation. Accumulation is a reversal pattern for when the market is ready to go up finally. And it gave us an entire 18 months. So here's the thing. If anyone here is thinking, I don't have time or I don't have money, I think within 18 months, you'd find some. That's not even including the 2022 cycle right here. So it'd actually be 12, whatever a year plus 18. 2.5 years. There you go. Math is not my forte, you can tell. But 2.5 years. Within 2.5 years, you're going to tell me that you didn't have time or money to dollar cost average. I'm talking about $25 a week, $10 a week, $5 a week. Skip out on a latte, skip out on a frappuccino. It's not good for you anyway, right? One little change can add up. And I'll show you guys that in a second. So anyway, so we had time. This right here was October of 2023. This was March 11th. The previous all-time high of Bitcoin was March 11th of this year. And then ever since that, we actually pulled back and we just kept consolidating these rectangles that you see on the screen here. Let me go ahead and zoom in if I can. This was just months of the market playing ping pong for months. But guess what? We could have either A, traded it, B, dollar cost averaged our way in every time we saw a decent pullback, which guess what? These pullbacks were of 20, 25 to 30% each over a course of 7 months. Again, it's not a fact of I don't have time or I don't have money. It's a case of priority, honestly, or awareness. Some people were just not aware of this. For those of you that this is like your first time really getting involved in crypto, you just weren't aware, and that's okay. But that's why they say that information changes situations, because now you can no longer claim ignorance. You're welcome. All right. And then, of course, we're no longer sitting here anymore. We're a little bit further ahead. But I want to show you guys different kind of exit strategies that you can use for when the time is right. Now, we have rallied since November 5th. You can tell here that this was before that. And I don't think the top is in. Let's just get that out of the way, because I know somebody's questioning that. Is the top in? Are we just going to pull back from here? No, I don't think so. I have my exit strategy that I follow where I start to scale out and then get out of my majority of my positions And then there's other strategies that you can use as well. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to give you guys a breakdown of different market cycles, or what those market cycles have looked like. Basically, the rectangles on the screen represent reversal patterns. This is where our accumulation and distribution has come in. And then the arrows, as you can probably guess, is whether the market has been an uptrend or a downtrend, whether it's bullish or bearish. And we are in the third mainstream market cycle, right? Bitcoin has been around since 2008. Genesis block was actually in 2009. So it's been around for a little bit, but it's still the newest financial market that we know on the face of the earth. So we have these to work with in terms of historical data, which is neither here nor there, to be completely honest. Because yes, we can say that our sample size is smaller, but we can reference the nature of other financial markets. And we can just dig really deep into this and learning things like, for example, tokenomics, studying people's sentiment. I'll also give you something else, guys. I'm going to give you some alpha. Basically means I'm going to give you some life hacks when it comes to crypto. The markets, although they're not exactly the same, they say that history doesn't always repeat itself, but it often rhymes. The markets don't always work exactly the same because there's new variables in place, right? 2017, we didn't have major institutions in here the way that we do today. 2022, we had a lot of retail traders and some major institutions. The reason why we're at the prices that we're at, but we haven't hit euphoria yet is because now we have major institutions, governments participating, and retail traders barely kind of figuring it out again. Because I do believe that the 2022 bear run, a lot of people didn't make it. I know it sounds really dramatic, but I do think that it burnt a lot of people. It filtered out a lot of people that just didn't have the thick skin for it, that they didn't have the stomach for it. And that's okay, right? If they don't want to participate anymore, that's okay, but that doesn't necessarily have to be you. As long as you understand the phase of the market that you're in and what to do in said phase. So let's get into, oops, my bad, that's in Spanish. That's in Spanish. Let's get into four examples of exit strategies. We can just correct that. So the first one, and I'm going to go and do the exact same example for each of these so that we can see what the outcome would look like, how different the outcomes would look like, I should say. So number one, what does it look like if you just HODL? HODL, for those of you that don't know, it's hold on for dear life. It's an acronym. It's kind of part of the culture, but you hold on until something. So you could either hold on until 20 years from now, or you can hold on until a certain price point. So a big psychological level for a lot of traders is that 100K mark, especially if we've been involved for the last couple of years or the last cycle or two. So that 100K mark is something that a lot of people, a lot of wallets have been looking forward to. Doesn't mean that it has to be yours. I'm just expressing everything that I know to you guys because, like I said, no gatekeeping. Number two is we're going to optimize with market cycles. I love this. This is my favorite and what I use the most on macro, and that's Wyckoff. And I go over that every single week on my sessions. The third type of exit strategy is using Fibonacci. So actually, this is more of an entry, but it can also be an exit strategy. So showing you guys what that looks like. And then the fourth one is a fixed ROI percentage. So with each example, we will start with the same initial investment of $1,000. Again, this is hypothetical. I just want to show you guys what this can look like so that you can decide what works best for you. All of these are good, but some might be better for you than others because of your time, your attention to the markets. If you want to be really hands-on or you want to be more hands-off. If you're someone that's really, really busy, if you have 27 kids or 4 jobs or whatever the case may be, and you just don't really want to be attentive to the market and the more medium time frame, that's okay. There's something here for everyone. So first strategy, the HODL strategy. If we would have gotten in when Bitcoin was at $5,000 and we put $1,000 in today, we would have $19,390 just hodling, which is great, right? That is over 1,800% ROI. We love that. We love that for everyone, especially people that think long term. So this is a strategy for people that think long term. People that don't care and can stomach the bear markets. If you're someone that's really angsty or antsy and paranoid and you can't handle drawdown, this is not for you. Okay, so I just want to make it really clear. Who is this for? This is for people that think long term, think in years ahead, and they can stomach drawdown. This is just holding on. You just buy and ignore it and just set it aside and forget it until you want to, right? So this is what that would look like. Number two is using Wyckoff. Now, this is where we use some math. But the good thing about Wyckoff is you don't have to pin the bottom or the top. So we're not here to pretend that we're going to do that every single time because that's kind of unrealistic, in my opinion. Pinning the bottom and the top every single time, what are the odds that you actually do that? So instead, we're going to use a pattern because as human beings, we're actually really good at pattern recognition, right? Since we're little kids. So Wyckoff is a reversal pattern, and we're not here to pin the bottom or the top. What we are here to use is our conviction based off of that reversal pattern. So same thing, we're going to start with $1,000. We're going to make our first investment when Bitcoin was at 5K, just to show you guys the outcome, right? So bear with me. So if we would have done that, our first distribution would have been over here in 2017. Then we would have recycled those profits back in when Bitcoin was at 7K. So we would have turned our 1,000 into 3,200, then into 7K. Then when we would have gotten back in, we actually wouldn't have gotten out at the all-time high. We would have gotten out more so like, so this was November. We would have gotten out at like, I think March of 2022 after we kind of already had a deep pullback. Why? Because this was distribution. So we had a macro distribution here. We had a smaller distribution here, which was for me, this was like the sirens going off of like, we're going to go lower from here. So if you're someone that likes to cut your losses, can't handle drawdown, and wants to have convicted entries and exits, then Wyckoff might be for you. So we would have taken our 7K from over here. It would have gone up over 542% ROI. And we would have turned that 7K into over 20K. Awesome. Then we would have just been patient here. What I do during bear markets is I just dollar cost out. I shouldn't call it dollar. I do a reoccurring purchase of stable coin. Stable coin, as the name implies, is something that doesn't move in price. It doesn't fluctuate. It is pegged to something like the US dollar or gold. It could be other things too, but those are like the main ones. And the reason why some people do that, like myself, is because I'm treating my wallet as like a savings account. I'm just putting a little bit of money in there weekly. And when the time is right, I am ready to execute. So if you're someone that likes to think, I guess kind of like very logically, and you like to put a little bit away at a time instead of one large sum all up front, then this might be something that you can do. And then we actually waited. So we basically did nothing from like March of 2022 to October of 2023. And I understand, guys, that we could have gotten in when Bitcoin was at 15K. But the point of this specific strategy is to prove that you don't always have to pin the bottom in order to optimize your profit. I hope that is making sense. Could you have dollar cost average your way down here? Absolutely. But that's not the point of this strategy. So honestly, it would be even more, but I don't want to inflate the potential here. I want to make it really clear, and I want the math to math. So let's say that we put our 20K when Bitcoin was at 33. So remember, the low was at like 15,000 and some change. So just let's call it 16K. We got it at 33. So we did not pin the bottom. That's okay though, because we had a convicted play as opposed to, is this going to keep going down? Is it going to go up? This takes the questioning out. And I love that. Because as a trader and investor, uncertainty is your worst enemy. That's where all these thoughts come into play. Like, what should I do? You start biting your nails. You start making mistakes. You start FOMOing. You start revenge trading. All these different things that I'm sure at one point or another we've thought of, right? So if you want conviction based off of price action, not sentiment, not news, not what your friend is saying, not what people on YouTube are saying, based off of price action, This is it. So we put in our 20K, 20.5 at 33, and we rode that to 67,347. Now I know that we're way past that by a long shot, I might add. So at the time that I made this training, I'm sorry I didn't update it right now, but we were at 109 ROI from 33K. Like I mentioned, we're actually at, I believe, 200% ROI. So this, I believe, someone can check my math, please. But this, I believe, would be actually 84,000 because we're over 95K right now. So this math happened when we were at 67K. We are over 90K. So if I'm not mistaken, I believe this math would actually be 84,000 or closer to that. So obviously you can tell the difference between this one and this one. This one is a little bit more active because you're scaling in and out of your positions. So you do have to be aware of those reversal patterns, and you do have to act off of that conviction, as opposed to method one, which was just set it and forget it. Put it off to the side. Don't even think about it. So you guys see the difference between the exit strategies? That's number two. Let's go on to number three. Okay. So this one's using the 786 Fibonacci level as our entry, and using the extension Fibonacci of that 786 level as our exit. So I'm going to start off with the con of this one first. Just get that out of the way. The con of this is that you're going to leave a lot of money on the table. Just being straight up with you guys. There's a lot of money left on the table for this. So this, I believe, is best used as an entry strategy and having something else as your exit strategy. And this is also macro. So same thing, we're going to start off with our $1,000 principal. We're going to get in a Bitcoin at 5K just to show you guys the math. I know that we can't go back in time and we can't buy Bitcoin at 5K anymore. I get it. I'm just showing you the math. Okay. So because Mike said, this is not the last bull run. And here's the thing, guys. I want this to be really clear because I know it's actually hard to conceptualize what I'm about to say. But when it comes to investing, especially if you're scaling in and out and recycling your profits, you don't have to pin the lows. And actually getting in at the lowest price possible and just holding might not be the most optimal in terms of highest ROI. So that's why I say the exits make a huge difference instead of just trying to pin the bottom. Because guess what? Bitcoin's not going back to 5K. I don't even think it's going back to 15. I don't even think it's going back to 30. If it does, we'll see, but not anytime soon. That would take a long time. But yeah, I hope that's just crystal clear. So let's do the exact same example. So again, we're getting in at a 786 retracement level, and we're getting out at the extension, which would be 41.4. Okay, so we get in at 5K, right? So we just tripled our investments, 200% ROI. That would take our $1,000 into $3,000. Great. We would get back in with the 786 retracement that was in 2019, and we'd get out at 412% ROI, which would take our 3K to, wait, hold on. I missed the number here. Pretty sure I missed the number here, but that would take us to 5,120. Great. Look at how far this went up. That's what I'm saying, is that this method for exits, it actually leaves a lot of money on the table. So this went up to 69, almost 69,000, right? We left a lot of money on the table. So bear with me. But then it pulled back to that 786 mark again, and we would put in our $5,120 at 17,944 when Bitcoin was at this price. Great. And then we rode that again. And I'm sorry again, but this was when Bitcoin was at 67. So we actually hadn't reached that 41.4 at the time, but now we would have. So this difference would be of 20K, 30. Oh gosh, my math is going to be really rough here, but I would believe that we add $6,000 to this. So this would actually be about 25K if we were to have gotten out at about 95. So at least in terms of this exit, do you guys see how, at least for this last run, this one worked out really well. The one previous to that, it left a lot of money on the table. But for this last one, the 786 to the 27.2, my bad, would actually be 85,000. So we would add, I think it would be 3K to this. You guys can math the math for me, but I believe we would be at about 22 or 23,000 instead. My bad, guys. But you guys can do the back testing for this. And that's another thing, guys. I'm not here to tell you what it is that I've accomplished or anything like that. I want to show you guys different methods and how to come up with these methods, and then encourage you guys to do it yourself. Back test it yourself. Do not just take my word for it. Don't take anyone's word for anything. Take everything with a grain of salt. Do the back testing and then figure out which one would work best for me subjectively. So this one would be about 23,000, let's just give or take. And that's method number 3. Not my favorite, but it definitely works in some cycles better than others. And for entries, I'll take a 786 retracement every time, every single time. Love that. The fourth entry is with a fixed ROI. So we're going to use a 20%. I didn't do the 420 on purpose, but it just ended up being there. But let's do a 20%. Why 20%? This number can be any number that you want, but a 20% is honestly easy in crypto. Remember when I told you that the last few months before the November 5th rally, before elections, there was just 20% drops, 30% drops in the market. So when the market went back up to meet that price, it would do a 30%, a 35%, especially if it was overcoming the previous high. And if we would have held from, for example, that August 5th retracement or the September 6th retracement, we would be up double. So 20% is extremely conservative, in my opinion, when it comes to the crypto space. And it's also something that can happen not just at high peak volume, not just during altcoin season, not just during a big rally like we've seen in the last 3 weeks. The 20% happened 5 times on the macro scale for Bitcoin. I'm not even including any other altcoins. So let's do the exact same example. $1,000 in when Bitcoin was at 5K. Actually, it doesn't really actually matter. But if we would just do 20%, 50 times, we'd end up with this obnoxious ass number. I'm going to do another example for you guys because sometimes we see these numbers and we're like, no way, no way. The math is just going to math here. So we don't have to do 50 trades. Let's say that we do 30. Okay, taking 1,000 to 237 off of 30 times that it does a 20%. And if you don't want to do 30, if you think that's way too much, well, what if we just do it 20 times? We'd still end up with just shy of 40, which is amazing, guys, for something that's less than, I don't know, this is like someone's car note, right? Or just a little bit over that. Hopefully you guys are not paying this much for your car. That's a waste of money. But point being is that some people pay this on just depreciating assets. I think we can pour into ourselves a little bit more, into our future selves, a little bit more, and come up with something that's going to benefit us a lot more long term. So I hope this is making sense, guys. That's different strategies for exits. I hope you found one that works best for you, that makes a little bit more sense, or something at least that you're going to say, I'm going to look more into that. And if you have done that, then let me know in the chat. Just type in an 888 that you're going to do your work and backtest something that has caught your attention in terms of the exit strategies. Now, what I want to show you guys is why it's never a lack of resources, guys. I promise you. It's only a lack of resourcefulness because everyone here has access to the internet. You're already on. So with the internet, you can do amazing things. For example, if you would just be plugged in to Go Social, this is more trading. And here's a cool thing about trading, guys, is actually the last 3 weeks, because we've just had these crazy rallies and very little pullbacks, I might add, is I've actually taken a kind of a step back from trading. But the cool thing about that is I don't always have to be trading. The last few days, what, Thursday, Friday, Saturday, Saturday, the last few days, I've just been with family. And guess what? The portfolio keeps going up. So trading is awesome. Trading is something that you can do no matter which phase of the market cycle we're in. It's a skill set that you can use not only in this financial market, but in any financial market. It's applicable, especially the way that we do it. So honestly, it's just great. Me and BTC are like this. That's my girl. Same thing with Solana. Same thing with the totals. I feel like I have a good pulse on these things, but guess what? That didn't happen overnight. It happened through observation, it happened through information, and it happened through back testing. And also trusting myself, which I think sometimes can be a harder skill set. Sometimes we want to depend on someone else because when things don't go right, you can blame them for it. And one of our fears as a trader is the fear of being wrong. I know, kind of sucks. Hard pill to swallow, but I'm here to say, chase that down with some water and you'll be fine. You'll actually come out better and stronger. So trading, these are just honestly not even major plays. These are like 1 to 2s, 1 to 3s. So I want to show you something else. Where is this? Okay, my bad. Got to go into my drive real quick. Can I? Okay, I want to show you this other calculator because I'm someone, I need to see the math. Is it this one? Is it this one? Okay. I'm someone that likes to see the math because it just makes me feel like something is more realistic, if you will. Okay, so let's say that we take 20 trades a month. Maybe we can drop that down a little bit. And that our win rate is only 60% of the time. That out of 10 trades, we win 6 and we lose 4. If our risk to reward ratio is a 1 to 2, and let's say that we're risking 1% per trade, we can expect about 12% a month. And the cool thing is, guys, that you just saw me plug these numbers in. So the math will just math itself. You can do this with whatever it is that your current stats are. So if you're actually trading more, what would that look like? If your risk to reward ratio is higher, what would that look like? If you risk a little bit more, what would that look like? Let's say we do a 2% instead. What would that look like? The important thing to hear, guys, is not just that the math makes sense, but that you know yourself as a trader. And you can only know yourself as a trader when you're consistent, when you're disciplined, and when you're actually like following with the plan. So I have a trader's oath. You know how like doctors, they have like a medical person's oath or like the doctor's oath? I created an investor's oath because I think it's extremely, extremely important, like I said, to follow your rules. It's easy to follow somebody else's rules at work, at school, in society, but sometimes it's the hardest to follow the rules that we put on ourselves. And that's called discipline. 1 to 3, great. So I created an investor's oath. And I challenge you guys to just come up with your own investor's oath. Come up with something that's just going to bring you back whenever it is that you're swerving out of your lane, whenever it is that you're acting a little bit undisciplined, or you're FOMOing into things, or you're chasing, or you're revenge trading, or you're just acting, you're wilding out. So the investor's oath. I solemnly swear to follow my plan, to invest with purpose, and to make decisions that reflect my education, not emotions. I will refrain from gambling, falling susceptible to FOMO, revenge trading, and chasing short-sighted plays. I will think in terms of longevity, with family and vision in mind, always. I will continue to learn and adapt and seek knowledge, mentorship, and diverse perspectives to improve my judgment and decision making. Do you guys think that that's something that you can do? Because if you can't, or if you can't come up with something at least kind of close to that, then maybe trading and investing isn't for you. Maybe you can go to a casino instead. But I do believe that trading and investing is something that you can build a la carte. My trading plan doesn't have to be your trading plan. Junior's trading plan is very different to my trading plan. But guess what? They can both work as long as you work them. So guys, that's my part. Thank you for being on for a little bit over almost an hour and a half on a Saturday. Not for me, not for my sake, not for paying attention to me speak, but for your own sake, for your family's sake, because I think a lot of us are at that age where we should be thinking about our future. Maybe some of us are in our lower 20s, mid 20s, some of us higher 20s, some of us 30s, 40s. Guys, we have a student that's almost in her 80s and she's learning how to trade. It's never too early and you're never too late as long as you follow something and you know why it is that you're following. So, guys, with that being said, thank you again for hopping on for yourself, for your future, and don't quit. If you haven't taken advantage of the market over the last few months or over the last couple of years or cycles, that's okay. There's going to be more. Don't rush things. Just do things the right way. I'll leave you guys with this. There's a Navy SEAL quote that says, "Slow is smooth and smooth is fast." You don't have to burn your accounts. You don't have to get rugged a bunch of times on these like altcoins or memes or anything like that. All you have to do is be consistent and it will pay. That's why you say patience. Patience pays. All right, guys.